What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Dan K Show. And since we've got like a new show this year and we've made some upgrades to the format, I figured, well, why not change the intro? So Dan, go ahead and roll that intro.
I'm excited about it. He's excited about it. Roll that intro, Luke.
You're supposed to do it, Dan.
Nope, we always agreed you were going to do it. Come on, roll that intro.
Oh God, here we go again.
What's the problem?
Nothing's the problem. Is you do this every time.
Roll that intro. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll start there instead of using folk, since Lucas made fun of me for using folk so much last year. My first thing of my three things, which is the way we start every show, my first thing, it's going to be about the word folks. Not going to use the word folks as much this year, folks. Use it right there. Probably not going to be able to accomplish that one. Number two, what's on my third finger?
Oh God, what is that?
What happened? I don't know what it is. It's a clamp.
No, it's okay. I got it.
Try to get it.
It's not coming
It's stuck
off.
on there. It's stuck on there, Lucas. Something happened, and you're wondering why is the show starting a little late? Why is the show starting this week? I got married, Lucas, and I guess that's why we weren't in the Hitmen Showcase, even though it's about 10 minutes away from our studio.
Yeah, no, I was there. He definitely got married. I was there. I saw it.
I tried to go, but she was like, "You're gonna stay." And producer Leyna tells us where to go, where to be, and she also tells me that I'm married now. So I guess me and producer Leyna got married. Thing number three, Lucas. We're excited to start a brand new season of the Dan K Show, and we're going to be getting it started right now. Coming at you, folks. This year, Lucas concocted a few new ideas for the show, including a new segment. Lucas, tell them about the new segment.
Well, the new segment is called Crash the Net, where I give this guy 1 minute flat to talk about all the best scores and highlights around the league, and your minute starts now.
That's not a lot of time. Wait, my minute starts now?
3 seconds in.
Wow, we're 3 seconds in, so I'm going to get started. We're going to go into the premiere here, folks. The South Shore Kings, they put up 5 goals in the second period in a win against PAL, a 9-1 victory, where 7 South Shore Kings players had a goal. Okanagan upset the Flyers in a shootout win with Paul Serta putting his team over the top. And in another Premier OT game, the Bruins beat the Stars, courtesy of a real star in Patrick Flynn with an OT goal. In the Elite, the Hampton Roads Whalers win and win and win. That's all they do. 2-0 against the Atlanta Junior Knights. Billy Brock with 6 points in his last 3 games, leading the Elite in points this season. The Carolina Eagles squawked out into a 3-2 win there against the Charlotte Rush. Jake Rowley with the Rally go-ahead goal in the third. The Decatur Blaze of the USP3 beat the Motor City Hawks 9-7 in a real gong show. 16 goals scored and 28 penalties suffered. 10 seconds left. We go to the Tri-City Outlaws defeating the Eugene Generals 6-5. Chase Lazelle chases a power play goal away in the OT win for Eugene's first loss of the season. Time's up. Did pretty well there.
You did pretty well, Dan. The only thing I'd say you missed was the large amount of penalties in the Decatur Blaze game.
I said 28 penalties, Lucas,
no, you didn't.
And I called it a gong show. Lucas Jones trying to catch me with a gotcha question, but just like this election, there really are no gotcha questions because everybody's been gotten. And you know what we have gotten to, Lucas? We've gotten to a big-time topic we want to talk about. It was released this week. Tell them a little bit about what's going on at the USPHL.
Well, the USPHL's time, as you said, Dan, is not up. They are putting in an application to move to Tier 2 hockey.
Tier 2 hockey. And now, Tier 2 hockey, Lucas, we all know it's going to go tuition-free. And that's going to bring a whole new shape into the league. I know we had Commissioner Jeff Nygaard, the new commissioner, who we may talk about in a little bit. But Commissioner Jeff Nygaard came out with a quote. Lucas, can you tell us a little bit about what he had to say about the Tier 2 transition?
So what he said was, "We have always been told it will never happen. The USPHL owners and operators are now making that happen through their continued commitment to both junior hockey and NCAA Division I development opportunities."
And that's where it comes into play, is that Division I development, right? We all know the USPHL structure geographically has made it the go-to league. It's already made it the highest quality league in the country and the place that is most visible. A player has the most visibility in this league. You're going to be seen by D3, D1, and all levels of hockey. The ACHA, you're going to be seen anywhere in this country, pro as well. But now we bring this Tier 2 model in, and now we're bringing an even higher level of ability. We're bringing an even higher level of opportunity to move to Division I hockey and even more visibility for these players and even more of an incentive to the guys playing in some of these levels at the younger ages to move on up and move to the top of the USPHL.
Well, yeah, it's really upping the ante for players across the league. Last year we talked about the inclusion of younger players in the league and how the USPHL is looking to start moving younger to get them ready for the Premier League, the Elite League, all that kind of stuff. So now what you've got an even higher goal to look forward to. Now when you start them in the much, much younger kids, now they get all the way up to Elite Divisions, Premier Divisions, now up into Tier 2 divisions as well, with all that visibility and all that access like you're talking about. It's the kind of thing that pushes players into sort of a next level mentality.
You got to love a league that lives up to the hype, right? And it lives up to what their motto is. And you hear guys like Jim Hunt, president of the Jersey Hitmen, and head coach of the Hitmen Premier Team, Toby Harris. You hear him talk about cradle to college, the cradle to college mentality. And you thought they went all the way when they went with the younger divisions and the youth divisions that we've launched this year in the USPHL. But now it's gone to a whole nother level. And when you make this Tier 2 jump next year, you're introducing a whole nother world of opportunity, a whole nother world of places that you can take this league to, levels you can take these players to, and I'm excited to see what comes next. And I'm excited to see, under the watchful eye of Jeff Nygaard, who we can't wait to meet. I know Jeff Nygaard is really guarding over this league and really excited to take it to the next level as Lucas shakes his head. And apparently he loved it so much he couldn't handle it. But this is going to be an exciting future for the league. And I mean, the growth as a parent of a player in this league, as a player in some of the levels that are feeding up to the higher levels. I mean, you got to be excited to be playing in the USPHL right now and excited to be signed on to a ship that seems to be getting bigger each year.
Well, and it's not just the geographic expansion like we talked about last year. Now they're even expanding through the different levels of junior hockey. So it looks like the sky's the limit for the USPHL right now.
And the sky's the limit for the Dan K Show, Lucas. And we're going to take a little transition period here, and we're going to move on to some more fun stuff. What do we have ahead of us?
Lots of fun stuff, Dan.
Man, a few words, but we're going to have many more for you in a few seconds. Coming right back with more Dan K Show. Lucas, this thing that we talked about in the open is reminding me again that we had a pretty big event this past weekend.
We did. We unfortunately missed the showcase that was in Jersey this weekend.
Well, we also had my wedding.
Oh, well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
That too? I mean, I thought it was pretty important. You were a best man. You gave a speech. I mean, but you know what? You are right. There was a more important event than my wedding, although there's not many things in my life that are more important than me. But the Jersey Hitmen Classic was a pretty big time event, and we weren't able to make it because of my wedding, which, we tried to get my wife slash producer, Leyna, to change the show and change the wedding so we could get there, but apparently she wouldn't have.
Well, we submitted a request with the proper 2-week ahead of time notice, and then she didn't talk to us for about 2 weeks, and all of a sudden a Google Calendar thing popped up that for some reason we couldn't edit. I think we got locked out of our own Google Calendar.
Yeah, and then this thing just ended up on my finger one morning, and next thing you know, I'm married. So, but moving on, I'm married, happy man, ready to talk about the Jersey Hitmen Classic, which closed on Monday afternoon. There were 150 scouts in the showcase, easy for me to say, ready to watch teams and players in the Premier USP3, 18 under, 16 under, and 16U Futures Division, Lucas. I don't know how they fit that many teams on the ice in one place, but that had to be an incredible spectacle.
Oh, it was. I even caught a couple of the fast hockey feeds while I think you were reading your vows. And some of the action was pretty intense. In the Premier League, you had IHC with 3 wins. They're now 1 point off of the lead for the entire league standing. So they are climbing their way up. The Hitmen came away with 2 wins. But let's jump down to the 18U League, where the Junior Bruins, in one weekend, went from 1-2 to 5-2. That's right, they had 4 wins in one weekend, and they really shot up in the standings. And one of those wins was against the previously undefeated Skipjacks. Great job, 18U Junior Bruins.
Skipped right over them.
Now, let's hit a little bit back up. USP3 time. The Jersey boys had a big weekend. 4 wins for the Whalers and 4 wins for the Hitmen.
Hey, how many wins for Frankie Valley?
4, 1 for each of the seasons.
Whoo-wee. A nice little Frankie Valley joke right there, Lucas. And you know what's bringing 4 seasons to you? We're bringing 4 seasons. The Dan K Show's bringing 4 seasons. We're bringing hockey in the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you have to do is call the Dan K Show, and we'll be there. And you know where we're going to be? We're going to be at the Bean Beantown Classic, Lucas. We're going to be in an event coming up, and we're pretty excited. Beantown, apparently there's a lot of beans up there in Boston. But, Lucas, tell them a little bit about what they should be doing and what people should be getting ready for.
Well, first of all, you got to get ready for some more USPHL action, because if there's one thing that we saw at the Jersey Showcase, it's that these teams are coming in hard. They are ready to play some hockey, and you never know what can happen. We talked about last year a lot. We're going to keep talking about it this year, just how good every single team is in the league, and how every week, every weekend, every showcase, you can expect some shuffling in the standings. What players and coaches and fans should be on the lookout for, these two faces right here.
Bring your cameras, bring your pens, bring your paper, bring your eyes, bring your glasses if you need them. Some people need them. I do. I don't wear them. And you know what? Bring your pants, because Lucas and I forgot them last time we went to a showcase, and that was almost pretty embarrassing. We had to go to a shop.
Absolutely. And bring your tweets, your vines, your Facebook statuses, your whispers and your yik yaks.
Your Shazams.
Yeah, bring your Shazams too, because some of the music I didn't really figure out what it was last time, and then it was good and I had no idea what it was about. So
I'd bring Kazam, but I don't think Shaquille O'Neal's available.
Well, you never know. He's retired.
Hey, he might have retired, didn't he? Not from TNT, not from TBS. I mean, he's still working basketball.
Possible appearance by Shaquille O'Neal at the Beantown Classic.
You know what? We're going to say there's a 2% chance that Shaquille O'Neal shows up with us on site, so keep watching. We can't promise anything.
Right.
Most likely, 2% we're promising he's almost not coming. It's like milk. It's 2% chance it's going to be good if it's 2% milk.
Right. It's like 2% milk and 98% a lie.
98% water. And you know what? This show is not 98% water. This show is 100% hockey, and we're going to bring you some more hockey right now. Now? Is now the time to bring hockey? Lucas, now it's time to progress into the Premier League. In the USPHL Premier League, we're going to talk Premier predictions. But, we're a little bit into the season. We have some things in front of us. We don't want people to think we're cheating and looking at how good the teams are and make a prediction now. So let's kind of break down where the league's at. And we look down in the 7th and 8th position, and this is where I want to start. You see the Pal Junior Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers right now in a position neither team is very used to. I mean, these are two franchises that are used to winning, used to being in the top half of the standings. Do you think this is the kind of team that these teams are this year? Are they a 7th and 8th place team, or are they going to make a run here as the year goes on?
Well, I think they might make a little bit of a run. You're talking probably something around like 5th, 6th, 7th place. The problem is, Dan, that these teams are both very young. And that by itself is not a disqualifier, but I think in this case, the teams are young. They have so much room for development that this year might not be the year. But that's the double-edged sword of a young team, is that even though this year might not be your year, there is so much potential for development, especially with the organizations in question. The organizations are organizations that have such a good structure from top to bottom, and they're organizations that can really help these young players develop into stars. And so I think maybe in a year or two, we might see these teams hovering back up around 1, 2, and 3. But as for this season, I think they're going to stay where they are.
And you look at one glaring thing with the Philadelphia Flyers team, a team that I've worked with the last few years. And, this is a team that's always been built around their goaltender, right? They had mighty Joe Young in net for their first 2 years in existence. And last year they had the formidable duo of Curtis Fry and Matt Beck, with Jeff Hextall in there for a little bit before the trade. And you look at a team that's built around the goaltending, giving up 4 goals plus a game right now this year. That's something they're going to have to work on. It's obviously not just a goaltending thing. It's a defense thing. It's just building that continuity. Whenever you have a new goaltender come between the crease here, you have to really learn the game again. You got to learn it defensively. The goaltender has to learn where his guys are going to be. That's something that's going to improve throughout the year. So these teams are going to win games. This team specifically is going to win games. They've beaten the South Shore Kings. They've beaten the Syracuse Stars. They've beaten the Pal Junior Islanders. They've beaten some top half talent. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news here. I don't want to be that.
What's the bearer?
Look, you wouldn't bearer bad news. It's a bear of bad news. Get it? They say when you're in the woods, make a lot of noise because you're going to be the bear of bad news is going to show up because bad news bear, the bear is there. And the bear can attack you. I mean, you don't want to be face-to-face with a bear. Leonardo DiCaprio tried it in The Revenant. It did not work in his favor. I don't want to be the bear of bad news. Walter Matthau didn't want to be, and that's why he was in the movie Bad News Bears. There's a movie about the saying, Lucas. I don't know how you don't understand that. It's the bear of bad news.
Sure. Well, on that note, let's move on a little bit to the top half of the league. Why don't you kind of get your mojo back with that one?
My mojo, Lucas. So let me bare my teeth here, or bear and move on as a bear. We'll talk about the Boston Junior Bruins, the Jersey Hitmen, and the Islanders Hockey Club. They're the top three teams right now in the league. Bruins, speaking of bears. But you look at these three teams, these are teams that we're used to being up there, right? We're used to it. But we only have 6 points. 6 teams separated by 2 points. 6 teams in this league, the top 6 separated by 2 points. The top 3, Hitmen, Bruins, IHC. Let's call them our favorites, right? Let's call them the favorites. They're the guys who are up there each and every year. Let's look at the next 3. In 4th, the Connecticut Junior Rangers. In 5th, the South Shore Kings. In 6th, the Syracuse Stars. Again, only 2 points separating these guys. Let's call them our dark horses, Lucas. I want to make this prediction here. I want to know one of the 3 favorites, one of our 3 dark horses that you think could face each other in the Dineen Cup Finals right now. Make the prediction today.
Well, before I do that, I do want to point out something interesting. You pointed out that there were 6 teams separated by 2 points, but all of our dark horse teams have a lot of overtime losses.
Yeah.
And so really the only thing separating the dark horse teams from the favorites in our little scenario is a couple of OT losses. So that just goes to show you really how close all the competition is this year.
It's real close. And, you talk about how close it is. Here's a team, the Connecticut Junior Rangers, who last year I said was close, right? I said last year was their year. They're going to make a move to the top half. They got almost there, right? They made a run. They were a better team last year. This is their year now. They're my dark horse team. That's my dark horse candidate. They have 14 points. They're 6-2-2. They've played well against the top half of the league. This is a squad that is ready to win some games now and can do some damage come playoff time. Lucas, who's your dark horse?
Well, Dan, you asked me the question before, and I dipped, dodged, ducked, dive, dodged, dipped, ducked, and then also dodged it again.
8 dodges, 8
but
Ds.
Let's come back to it now. Let me take this question head on. For my favorites, gotta go with the Hitmen. A very smart... A man told me never bet against the Hitmen. This guy.
I'm that man.
And that rings true. I think the Hitmen are a dangerous team, as we saw this weekend, and I think they're going to be my favorites to go forward. As for my dark horse, I picked these guys last year. They had a great run at the end of the season, great run through the playoffs. Close. Very close. And I got to say my heart was ripped out a little bit when I saw they had fallen off. The South Shore Kings. I gave it to you last year. I'm going to do it again this year. South Shore Kings are my dark horse team.
Lucas, I really think you took the bull by the horns there with the favorite pick. You really went as favorite as possible. I believe the Jersey Hitmen have won the last 27 Dineen Cups in a row because that franchise just wins and wins and wins. It's like the bear skit, not a 3-peat,
No.
not a 4-peat, not a 5-peat, minimum 8-peat here, Lucas.
Absolutely.
Minimum 8-peat here. I think that's what you're going to see from the Jersey Hitmen, but I got to go with a different team. And we keep with the Bears theme here. I pick the Bruins. I picked the Bruins at the beginning of the year. I picked the Bruins now. And I picked the Bruins going forward as my favorite. What do you think about that pick?
I think it's a good pick, but I think you switched accents from Chicago to Canada halfway through.
I don't know what happened there. I'm very bad at these accents, Lucas, but I try my best every show. I don't think SNL is going to be knocking down my door anytime soon. But you know what is knocking down our door? And it's the empty net. Folks, last year we tried this. We had a lot of feedback. We had a lot of players writing to us, a lot of fans, a lot of parents. We need you to do it again. We need you to write with #EmptyNet, and we promise you we're going to get you on this show. We just had John McCormick write to us at John McCormick saying he's so excited to see the show is back. We're so excited to have John writing to us, and we're so excited to see the questions, the comments, the answers that are going to be sent our way. We want to know, first thing with the Empty Net, who's your prediction to win the USPHL Premier? Who do you got? Let's hear it.
I'm excited that he's excited. I'm excited that everybody's excited. I want to also see some tweets coming at us.
Use your gadgets and your doodads and get us written
at
to.
USPHL, at USPHL Network, #Dan Show. If you're shooting at us for the Empty Net, #EmptyNet.
You want to write to me directly? At Dan_Kemchek. Didn't mean to cut Lucas off, but I do because the show's got my name on it. I can do that if I want to.
Me, LJones1138. I have lots of stuff on there too. I'm also an equally important member of the show, so tweet at me. It'll be a lot of fun, I promise.
Like 60-40.
Oh,
But 60-40, 50-50, whatever we want to call it, folks. But whatever you want to call it, we call it the Dan K Show. We call it the USPHL. We call it great hockey. And we're going to be bringing you great hockey each and every week. USPHL hockey, the most quality hockey from the most quality show. It might be an overstatement, but I mean, at least we're a pretty good show. The Dan K Show. Lucas, parting words.
No.
As always, back and better than ever. Still bringing you great hockey. Lucas bringing you great insights at the end of every show. Another beautiful monologue from the man, the myth, the legend, Lucas P. Jones. I've been Dan K. This is the Dan K Show. And remember, when Dan K is on the mic, it's always hockey night. And the USPHL is always bringing you great hockey. Keep watching, hockey fans. We have credits this year?
Yeah, no, we're going to have credits this year. It's going to be executive producer, Leyna Andren.
Got it.
Junior producer, Leyna Andren.
Got it.
And then it's going to be executive writer, Lucas
She's
Jones.
Leyna Kemchik now, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
She's not Leyna Andren.
Not Leyna Andren. But yeah, and then it's going to be executive writer, Lucas Jones. Junior writing staff, no one. Overseer,
Harambe.
talent is going to be, obviously, the two of us.
Catering.
Catering, as always, provided by Munchies. Catering is ordered from Munchies on the show.